Thank you all for letting us get our technical difficulties sorted out so we can celebrate all of these beautiful fellows. My name is Ruben Agbana. Excited to be here in front of you all again in community. For the new folks here, the co-founder and executive director of the Marcy Lab School.
And hi all, it's so good to see so many of you again and so many new faces as well. My name is Maya Bhattacharjee Marcantonio. I am the co-founder and chief program officer of the Marcy Lab School.
Faces you see here on the screen are incredible fall 21 alumni now. They started with us a little over 1 year ago today and embarked on a mission to grow as people, as engineers, as young adults under the care of some of the most incredible, amazing professionals that I've ever gotten a chance to work with. Today, we're celebrating all of their hard work and their accomplishments as they prepare to kick off their careers in the tech sector and change the face of the economy that are creating the products that we come to use and enjoy every single day.
We want to thank these fellows for being our source of energy this year and our co-founders. They have taught us so much. They've helped us lay the foundations for a school that will grow to impact the lives of so many of thousands of young people to come. And we want to bestow upon them today the privilege and responsibility that they have to pay it forward to those who will come after them. We're going to get to celebrating all of our fellows for the majority of this call and in just a moment. But for now, I recognize that we have so many first-time guests with us, and we love to tell you all a little bit more about Marcy Lab School for those of you who are just joining us for the first time today.
I love starting with this picture of Maya and I way back in the day. Although that was 12 years ago, I'm sure we don't look that much older now. This was during our time as middle school and high school teachers here in New York City, where we started our careers off. We worked at the types of schools that work incredibly hard to serve students who face a number of systemic barriers, but nonetheless achieve a 100% college matriculation rate. It was one of our greatest sources of professional pride that we could say that when students entered our care, they were going to go off to college at the end of their times in our schools. We met students who taught us so much from their own resilience, their own leadership, the stories that they had as they came struggles and worked their way into new places in life. But one of the things that really concerned us was the amount of student loan debt that our students were taking out in order to pursue this dream. We were concerned by the ways that they would often go off to colleges that didn't necessarily have the resources to support them to launch the careers that they deserved. While they internalized a ton of guilt and shame about not finding success in the post-secondary sector, Maya and I began to ask the question of what could a better version of college look like for these young people that won't access the best of what higher education has to offer in this country. We're at a place in history now where we're questioning whether or not we should be encouraging students to take out as much debt to pursue a higher education as we do now. But we know that there's so much more to college than just the coursework. We have a really clear mission. We believe economic mobility is possible for every single one of the students that we serve. We believe that we can do so while creating the next generations of leaders for the tech sector.
And we built the Marcy Lab School as a true alternative to college, and as such set out to build a program that we hoped would feel that way for our fellows. We built it around three key aspects: our technical curriculum, of course, which so many of you have seen our fellows in their demos and their presentations throughout the year, and this thing that we call leadership and development. It's one-on-one coaching, it's racial identity development. It's so much that we can't even fit to one slide. But the thing that ties both our technical curriculum and our leadership and development curriculum together is our community and the mentorship that so many of you have fed into this year. We saw the way in which training our young peoples as engineers was the most lucrative and exciting pathway to wealth. But simultaneously, we knew that what made college so special for us was a chance to discover who we were with like-minded people. And so we were so excited to build this program that helped fellows discover who they are, their innate, their limitless potential, and then helping them get prepared for a really ridiculously challenging and exciting career as a software engineer. We began in 2019. These photos are such a throwback. So many of you here with us in this little room. We launched the Marcy Lab School, convincing 9 incredible founding fellows to take a risk and trust us with their post-secondary education. And after 1 year of full-time study, our students were able to land high-paying jobs writing for some of the most incredible companies in the world, including Asana, WW International, JP Morgan, and the New York Times. And then in 2020, as the world was in the throes of a devastating global pandemic, 10 more incredible young people innovated with us to build a fully remote Marcy Lab School. They completed this ridiculously challenging program from the corners of their homes on Zoom screens and achieved outcomes for them and their families that were beyond our wildest dreams and their wildest dreams, with relentless discipline and resilience as we got through our COVID year. And in 2021, this beautiful class of young people and so many staff members joined us as the world was opening up again. We invited more than 30 young people this cohort to join us in our first ever hybrid class, taking what we learned for our COVID year and combining it with an in-person program and building out our beautiful new campus and industry city that this cohort helped us build. Ruben and I often call the classes of Marcy Fellows our co-founders because they build this school alongside us. And this class in particular has taught us so much about what it means to love our students well and serve them well.
Each young person that comes to join us, we ask them to take a big risk. We say, instead of pursuing a traditional higher education option, come experience post-secondary education with this new Marcy Lab School initiative. And so we're really proud to say that that pays off for our students. The young people who come through our program on average are earning $106,000 per year at the start of their careers. As 19, 20, and 21-year-old Marcy Lab School graduates with no debt. And we're even more proud to say that they're launching their careers at world-changing, leading global companies and nonprofits that are making an impact on the world. And it simply wouldn't be possible without the people here on this call representing these companies that took a risk on this mission and invested in the potential of our young people. From 9 fellows in 2019 when we started to 30 last year, 50 fellows across 2 different classes this year, to serving upwards of 100 fellows in the year ahead. We're really excited to see how this new model of post-secondary education can really shift things for young people in New York City and eventually across the country.
So we know that it takes a village to make all of this happen, and we're only as strong as our community. So we're really pleased to highlight the people and the organizations, again, many in this room, that are making the success of our fellows possible. And I'm going to pass it to my colleague Jorge to kick us off.
Thank you, Mutun. Hello, my name is Jorge Hadatre, and I'm the Partnerships Coordinator at the Marcy Lab School. We are so grateful for the community who hold us up, starting with men. Thank you, Marcy Lab mentors, for being our fellows guiding stars and cheerleaders, for sharing your experiences and time to help them achieve their full potential. After today, my biggest hope is for you to keep this connection with your mentee, because this is not an end, but a new beginning.
Thank you, Jorge. And next, I'm going to invite my colleague Nujat.
Hi, my name is Nujat Abu Hadi, and I'm the development manager at Marcy. I'm so happy to see some of our favorite people at our favorite foundations in the audience today. Thank you for taking the time to be here and celebrate our outstanding graduates today. And thank you for continuously being some of our biggest cheerleaders and supporters behind the scenes. You all make it possible to offer this program cost-free to our fellows and have helped us scale and grow so much in the last 3 years. We're really happy to have you here today and every day.
Thank you, Najat. And next, Travis.
Hey everyone, I'm Travis Fox. I'm the head of partnerships at Marcy. It's so good to see so many people I've worked with over the last few years here on the Zoom. I've had the pleasure of being here for a couple of years when we had 9 alums at the Marcy Lab School. And as of today, we have over 70, which is pretty incredible in just a couple of short years. Not only has the growth been amazing, the generational wealth that our fellows have been able to create for their families been amazing. But the fact that they've continued this community over the years of their alumni status is even more incredible. They're coming back to volunteer, to be mentors to our incoming fellows, to go to happy hours monthly near campus, and just continue to be around supporting each other and continuing to lift each other up. And every time a fellow of ours goes into a new company, starts a new job, and does incredibly well, they open the door for everybody behind them. When I'm looking at the screen, I'm seeing Cielo, who kicked off our first ever hire at the New York Times, which opened the door for Melinda the next year, which opened the door for Yaya in this year's fellowship. And Manuel was our first ever hire at Asana, which was a huge milestone for us, which opened the door for Zakia and for Whaley, and now Leo in the fall cohorts, and hopefully 3 or 4 other fellows in a few short weeks. So it's incredible to see the work that they do, the way they pass it forward, and I'm so proud of this entire group.
Thank you, Travis.
I feel so honored to thank our incredible team. We're wholly responsible for the magic that happens at Marcy. At this point, Ruben and I just take our cues from you all. A huge welcome as well to 2 of our new brilliant teammates, Ben and Gonzalo, who have joined us in the last couple of weeks to welcome our newest cohort of 50 fellows this fall. And an especially huge note of gratitude for our fall fellowship team. I have all my words of affirmation saved for later for each one of you, so I won't drown this call. But from the bottom of my heart, and I think on behalf of every single one of the young people that you have supported in this fellowship, we couldn't be here without you.
Oh, thank you, Maya. Hi, everyone. My name is Motun Bomale, and I'm a senior program manager at the Marcy Lab School. So happy to have the honor of talking to our fellows on behalf of the fall fellowship team, and wanted to start by sharing how happy we are to have made it to this moment. How proud we are of each and every one of you, our graduates, and what an honor and pleasure it's been to stand beside you as you spent your year chasing your dreams and creating your futures. As our co-founders in Marcy's 3rd full year cohort, you've really been through so much. You started with us September 2021, and though the most chaotic and frightening era of the pandemic had passed, we were still in very scary and uncertain times. In fact, you went fully remote twice, right? Just because of things that were happening in relation to the pandemic. We were still in the process of building out our wonderful new campus. So you toughed it out with us at our temporary campus at the Brooklyn Navy Yard WeWork. When we finally made our move to our permanent and beautiful campus in Industry City, you were patient and so gracious with us as we built it out and made it a real campus. This class, your class, was also a class of significant firsts. It was the first time we ever had 2 concurrent cohorts in this one beautiful class. The first time we had instructors teaching remotely, though you were here with us in person in the hybrid model. And in that alone, you've taught us so much, but individually and collectively taught us infinitely more. again, we are just so proud of you. This year, you've made us laugh, you've made us cry. All the emotions in between, the range of it, we felt it with you all. And you've pushed yourselves and you've pushed each other. And because of it, all of you have grown so much. As you step out into the future, into your futures, we just want to remind you this thing that we say at the very beginning of the year, right? If you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And my greatest dream for all of you is that your futures are really connected with one another and you're pushing each other to bigger, better, and greater things. Also, you've heard us say this one thing so many times through the year, but once again for good measure, because we mean it. We love you so much. We are so excited for your futures and so excited for the impact you will make for your families and your communities. As all of you know, we don't ask you to pay us back, but to pay it forward by making a way for those people, for those coming after you. And you begin this work today, right now, through our Pass the Pin ceremony. If you're joining us for the first time, you might be curious about the origins and meaning behind this ceremony, and Ruben is going to explain.
The passing the pin ceremony is now a 3 years old tradition, and it's inspired by the West African Adinkra symbol that inspired our logo. When Maya and I were first coming up with the concept that would become the Marcy Lab School, we were searching for symbols that would inspire and ground us. And both of us come from immigrant backgrounds. My family comes from West Africa, and these symbols provide us with a source of inspiration. There are many of them that symbolize a lot of different values, but the one that we landed on is the symbol here for Odia that represents independence, emancipation, and freedom. The long form translation is with independence comes its responsibilities. In so many ways, it encapsulated everything that we thought the Marcy Lab School was about. When fellows graduate, they walk into independence in a number of ways. They walk into financial independence. They walk into independence over their time, as many of them worked flexible roles that allowed them to live remotely. And have a certain level of career independence, as we know that so many of them are going to go on to launch companies of their own one day. And the only thing that we ask of them is that they uphold the responsibility that it comes with, the responsibility to their community, that they pay it forward and make a way for many other young people who are going to come after them. We started this tradition in fall of 2019 with a lapel pin with this logo on it. And fellows would pass the pin to different fellows in their cohort that embodied the core values of the Marcy Lab School. And so in their last kind of honor as Marcy Lab School students before they step into alumnihood, they proverbially pass the pin to one of the fellows that are going to be coming in the class ahead. And so we're going to listen in as some of our fall 21 fellows pass their pin to some of the fellows that are incoming and are going to start full-time at the Marcy Lab School in just 2 short weeks.
Thank you, Ruben. If you've been here for previous years of Pass the Pin, as our classes grow bigger, Pass the Pin is going to look different. And this one, thinking about the class of this, and then the incoming class, which is even bigger, our fall team is going to introduce our groups of graduates and share a little bit about what made them special. So we're going to send them into their new lives as software engineers and acknowledge and celebrate them. And to be successful in this program, our fellows exemplify what we like to call our Marcy pillars of character. And these are ways of being and doing that really anchor their learning in our community. So as we introduce them and toast them, we're going to share these and the ways these fellows is particularly embodied these pillars of character. And then these fellows are going to pass the pin to incoming fellows who actually start in maybe less than 10 days, which is crazy to think about, or a little more than 10 days, and offer words of support and encouragement to the incoming class. As we announce graduates, please feel free to use the chat and send words of encouragement and support, especially for the fellows that you walked with this year and who you've played a role in their journey this year. With that, I'm going to pass it to Anne to introduce our first group of graduates.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anne Duong, and I am the Vice President of Education at the Marcy Lab School. Today, I am so excited to celebrate Leo Cedillo, Ray Liu, Jasani Williams, Jason Padilla, and Yasira Boyce. This year, these fellows embodied the pillar of unwavering discipline. Fellows, the countless hours you have poured over your work have culminated into immense success and growth. You have consistently held yourself accountable to a relentlessly high bar day in and day out in ways big and small. On behalf of this group, Yasira, aka Yaya, will pass the pin.
Hi, my name is Yasira Boyce, and today I am passing my pin to Amanda Fairman, Ayais Khan, Clifford Iatine, Ethan Ennis, India Hall, Jasik Wade, Christian Santos, Mohammed Udine, Randy Pachardo, Sadiq Mustafa, and Vindy Antone Phils. In your year at Marcy, we challenge you to persist through every difficult task and difficult time, and to remember that the reward is going to come from the effort and not the outcome. We want you to just pursue excellence and not perfection. So control your emotions and maintain confidence throughout tough periods. You can count on us to provide you with tons of resources, guidance, and emotional support during your year at Marcy.
Thank you, Yaya. Laura will introduce the next group of fellows.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Laura Rouse, and I am one of the program managers here at the Marcy Lab School. After supporting this group over the last year in my first year at Marcy, I am so incredibly excited and proud to celebrate these 6 fellows: Andrew Eno, Charles Yarney, Kalia Paris, Gurupriya Jayakaran, Liam Robinsino, and Sanjay Braggs. This year, embodying the pillar of bold determination, each one of these fellows made audacious goals because they refused to sell themselves short. Though at times they may have experienced failure, doubt, and fatigue, each one of these fellows persisted because they knew where they wanted to go and were 100% committed to getting there. For these fellows, there was no turning back. On behalf of this group, Andrew will pass the pin.
Hi, my name is Andrew Eno, and today I'm passing the pin to Amber Lambert, Bayzed Ula, Daniel David, Rabiazo Corrales, Isaac Sajesi, Jared Knight, Luis Cordero, Natalie Garcia, Raven Parker, Stacey Ann King, and Jessica Malachi. In your year at Marcy, we challenge you to question everything, never stop trying when things get hard, and remember, when you hit your lowest point, you are open to the greatest change. You can count on us to provide help with technical concepts and emotional support. Thank you.
And Motun will introduce our next group of graduates.
Thank you, Laura. Hi again, my name is Motun Bolmole. It's my pleasure to introduce and celebrate the following graduates: Kenya Cobbs, Ansi Jean-Baptiste, Zohaib Manzour, Damon Nunez, Siobhan Legal, and Aldor Ortiz, who embodied the pillar of tough love this year. In individual and unique ways, each of you held love and hard work in tension, pushing yourselves to do the wholehearted labor of stepping into your own power. You sought every opportunity to realize success, wealth, and solutions for yourselves and your communities. On behalf of the group, Ansi will pass the pin.
Hi everyone, my name is Ansi Jean-Baptiste, and today I am passing my pen to Casterly Oliver, Daniel Nelson, Fatima Assad, Ivan Daniel Rodriguez, Jason Polino, Luis Rivera, Saida Berry, Nayan Pajapat, and Trayvon Charles. In your year at Marcy, we challenge you to read ahead of class, try your best to fully understand each technical concept before you move on. Don't be afraid to ask questions, no matter how silly they may sound to you. You can count on us to provide help and assistance with technical concept and any other challenges that may arise.
Thank you, Ansi. Next, Carmen will introduce these groups of graduates.
Hi, my name is Carmen Salas. I am a senior associate instructor at the Marcy Lab School. It is my pleasure to introduce and celebrate these Fall 21 Software Engineering Fellowship graduates: Amir Akhmetov, Damian Kahut, Elijah Ajamin, Kayla Edwards, Matthew Tan, and John Morales. This year, they embodied the pillar of ingenious curiosity. Though each of you came into the program already wildly talented, you knew that there was yet still a world of brilliance and potential to unlock. You used your passion for thinking and figuring it out to guide you in the right direction, and left no stone unturned to solve problems and build solutions. When you got lost, curiosity brought you home. On behalf of this group, John will pass the pin.
Hi everyone, my name is John Morales, and today I'm passing the pin to Arlie Raimundo, Christian Knox Phillips, Destiny Howell, Gabriel Anise, Yvonne Herrera, Julian Castro, Nicholas Nunez Baez, Zenobia James, Magdalena Majero, and Venice Brown. In your year at Marcy, we challenge you to nurture the curiosity that brought you here and work as hard as you've ever worked, because it does pay off. You can count on us to mentor you and guide you. As new graduates, we become part of the growing network of engineering alumni who sat where you are today and have carried the mission of the Marcy Lab School forward. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And next, Itzel will introduce our last group of graduates.
Hello, my name is Itzel Rendon, and I am an associate instructor at Marcy. I have the honor of introducing and celebrating Muhammad Islam, Mark Rodriguez, Sean Townsend, and Uzma Khan. This year, you embodied the pillar of collective responsibility, what it means to care deeply for others and your networks and communities. You lived out the truth that we are responsible for them as much as ourselves, in our daily work, in our future aspirations, and in our ultimate solutions. We are in this together, and you carried this value with you every day. On behalf of this group, Sean will pass the pin.
Hi everyone, my name is Sean Townsend, and today I'm passing my pin to Ashley Patterson, Chuka and Engineer, Duo J. Williams, Hamoud Khan, Jacqueline Galvin Lopez, Pumba Keita, O'Shawn Berridge, Matthew Santos, Shania Guzman, and Vincent Lamano. In your year at Marcy, we challenge you to be there for the Marcy community and for your other fellows. This next year is a time to build some bonds that could potentially last a lifetime. You can count on us to be a supporting hand if need be. If you need help, advice, and encouragement, you can always reach out to us and we'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. A final round of applause or snaps for our Fall 2021 fellows. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. Next, I'm going to pass it back to Maya to introduce our keynote speaker for today.
It is the greatest honor and privilege to be introducing our keynote speaker this year. You know, last year we had a celebrity come, and this year Motun asked, who should be the keynote speaker, in which we all locked eyes and thought of one person who felt like the Marcy celebrity that we all needed to celebrate this moment for our fall fellows. And it is the one and the only Devonte Duncan. Devonte was one of our founding fellows, and just like all of you fall fellows, Devonte had a beautiful and a challenging year going through our first year of building Marcy alongside us. We wanted to select Devonte because the same collective responsibility and bold determination and tough love that all of you have embodied were the things that Devonte walked with every single day of his journey at Marcy and then in his first job. Devonte embodies so much of what the dream that Ruben and I had. And now as he sits at his second promotion, we wanted fellows for you to be able to sit back and hear from someone who's walked this path right before you about what his journey felt like, what his first few months felt like after graduation, and then what to expect in the years to come. And so with no further ado, I'd love to hand the microphone to Devonte Duncan.
Oh boy, Denzel. Okay, I've got some words for you guys. I'd like to begin by congratulating the class of 2022 for successfully completing a year of study at the Marcy Lab School, which is no easy feat considering the rigor of the curriculum. My journey to Marcy began at a fork in the road in my life. Like many of you, I too had realized that the traditional path prescribed by my family was not right for me. I often found myself questioning the value of the knowledge I spent countless hours cramming into my head. Was I learning this because it was useful or because I needed to know it to pass a test? I would later learn that this was a symptom of an outdated education system, no longer designed to set us up for success. Upon learning this, I felt betrayed. All this time, I had been misled. That was 3 years of my life that I'll never get back, which meant I was 3 years behind my peers in what felt like a rat race. When I finally happened across Marcy, I found that the curriculum was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. I was so accustomed to academic institutions teaching the bare minimum that experiencing workshops for things like networking or public speaking in a place that had only seemed to be promising computer science classes felt foreign. However, I made sure not to undervalue this, as I would advise all of you not to. At first, the other half of the curriculum felt as if it was taking away from what I thought I needed to learn. But later, I later learned that without that knowledge, I would lack the skills and finesse I needed to be capable of holding my own in a room full of people whose accomplishments dwarf my own. The other half of the curriculum I found to be quite difficult and yet way more enjoyable than any college course I've ever taken. And that enjoyment came from the hands-on approach that was taken to everything. I had already had enough of learning how things work in theory, and I actually wanted to do it. And Marcy provided me the space to do that, and in most cases required me to, in order to solidify my learnings. I left Marcy feeling powerful, confident, and optimistic. My confidence grew in leadership and development, where I learned that you add value to every room you step into, no matter who you are or where you come from. My power came from my hard work, my sleepless nights, and my stressful mornings, where I developed the technical foundations that I'll spend the rest of my life leveraging. My optimism is born from the faith that I have not only in myself, but in all of you to continue carving out this path, making it easier for future fellows to follow. Each and every one of you makes this program what it is. Your ideas, your determination, your hard work, your success. Though finding Marcy was nothing short of a miracle, the more we grow and the more of you that power through this program, what was luck for me will one day be an inevitable journey for those looking for an alternative path to success. And if at this point you're still wondering what awaits you past this point, let me give you a glimpse into what my life has looked like post-Marcy. After getting my first job, I realized that the hardest part was actually over. Once your foot is in the door, you're in for good. I went from making minimum wage to making almost $100,000 a year. That kind of money has never been seen in my family. I could finally move out and be financially independent for the first time in my life. I even had enough money left over to pay my mom's rent too. 2 years later, I was promoted right as I accepted another offer at Squarespace, and I'd buy my first car, but not just any car, but the car I'd been dreaming of since I was 16, a Tesla. I've been living a life that I could never imagine myself living for the last few years. The first few months, I was anxious that someone would take it all away, and now I'm confident enough to dream bigger and reach for more. My entire perspective on what is possible has been reformed. I no longer question whether or not I can do something. And my time at Marcy has taught me that given enough time and effort, I can truly do anything. And now I aim to find out just how far I can go without a degree, though I suspect the sky is really the limit at this point. Now you're going to experience, many of you are going to go on to experience what I would call the hardest part, which is the job search. You'll need to use every tool and every resource at your disposal. And at first, it's going to seem impossible with you facing rejection after rejection. However, if you keep at it, your resilience will be rewarded. This part is supposed to be hard as you're in competition with some of the best. but I'll tell you what I did to stand out from the crowd. LinkedIn and Indeed are not going to give you a job. However, people will. You'll need to leverage your personal connections in order to get yourself where you want to be. And sometimes it isn't enough to just be the best. None of that matters if your resume falls into the abyss. So I advise each and every one of you to take a look at every connection you've made thus far and ask yourself how you can use that to get yourself to the top of the pile. Outside of that, you have everything you could possibly need. And I wish you all the best of luck. I can't wait to see the great things you'll do.
A huge virtual round of applause for Devonte.
Thank you, Devonte, and for your inspiring words to our graduating fellows. I know that you've come back so often to be here, and I know that they look up to you, but I also am looking forward to the day that they can come back and share their accomplishments and what they've been able to do since graduating from the Marcy Lab School. With that, I'm going to pass it to Ruben to talk about another one of our traditions here at Marcy.
Yeah, we love you, Devonte. We're proud of you, and we're grateful for all the ways that you've given back and continue to help us build Marcy Lab School into the school that we believe our fellows deserve. Appreciate you. Our final tradition of this Pass the Pen ceremony is the unveiling of our young trustee. The Marcy Lab School is a nonprofit post-secondary institution. So what that means is, although it was founded by Maya and I, and Matud and Travis and Ashley and Ann, no one owns the Marcy Lab School, but we are in fact governed by an independently selected board of directors. Their directive is to ensure that the vision of the Marcy Lab School, our mission, holds true. Even after Maya and the founding team are gone. They are the people who must approve every major strategic change. They literally approve our salaries every year. And one of the key responsibilities of a nonprofit trustee or director is fundraising. And so for that reason, oftentimes nonprofits are governed by people who don't necessarily reflect the communities that they serve. We believe that our fellows know better than anybody else the vision of the school that we're trying to build. And so we established this tradition 3 years ago of allowing one graduate from each class to serve a 2-year term on our board of directors. What we've learned in the 2-year since is that their advice, their wisdom, their caution in our board meetings is always some of the most valuable perspective that we get. And so we're super excited to announce this year's young trustee. And to do that, I'm going to pass it off to Muhammad.
Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome, Ruben. Hello, everyone. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be able to stand before you all here with all these people that continues to shape Marcy to what it is and to grow alongside everyone this past year. I would like to take this moment to lift someone from our 2 humble cohorts that has shown us through their empathy, curiosity, discipline, determination, what it means to honor and take this role as young trustee and uphold its values to the utmost. They have spent late nights, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and longer hours, and when classes end at 4:30 to stay so late in order to understand and dive into the code and serve as a means of support to their peers. They have used after-school hours with the wonderful Mike Cronin and have continued to shape and raise their voice to ask questions because they wanted to give and get the most out of whatever they do, all the while with class and compassion. I would like this incredible individual to share some words and for everyone to give a loud virtual round of applause and welcome the fall 2021 cohort's young trustee, Andrew Eno.
Thank you for your very kind words, Mohammed. One moment, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm keep this really short and sweet. First, a huge thank you to Maya, Ruben, and my fellows for entrusting me with this role. 2 years ago, when I started this journey, I had no idea what my future held in store for me. I just knew I wanted to be a software engineer, and if I stayed consistent and disciplined, things were bound to fall in place. When I found out about the Marcy Lab School, I knew that I found a place where I would not only be put through a rigorous curriculum, but be provided with immense support and resources for success. Fast forward tomorrow morning each day, my fellows and I were asked a question by either Laura or Motoon while planning out our goals for the day. The question being, how can I get 1% better? To me, it meant forgetting the losses of yesterday and taking the lessons learned to accomplish your goals for tomorrow. I do want to express gratitude to my fellows as we have gotten through this program while utilizing Marcy's 5 pillars of character. Unwavering discipline. We stayed organized and completed tasks, even when there were days when we didn't have the energy. Bold ambition. We understood why we were doing this work and the impact that we will make within the industry. Tough love. We checked in on each other when needed and checked each other when we were caught lacking. Ingenuous curiosity. We exchanged ideas, algorithms, analogies, and built applications that provided solutions for problems within our communities. And collective responsibility. We held each other accountable and carried each other to this finish line. Thank you to our technical instructors, Anne, Erwin, Carmen, and Adele for pushing us to internalize the technical concepts and ensuring that we break the technical glass ceiling. Thank you to our coaches, Laura and Motoon, for the mindful mornings, the stand downs, the L&D lectures, and for taking time to listen to us vent about our daily problems. Thank you to Travis and the rest of the partnership team for connecting us with so many different companies and widening our networks. Thank you to Mike Cronin for teaching me how to write a for loop and providing technical help to our fellows. And thank you to our mentors for providing the wisdom needed to complete our goals. Thank you to our alums for checking in on us and giving us advice when needed. Thank you to Maya and Ruben for providing a space where we can be ourselves and for pushing us so hard because you know what we could accomplish. I cannot wait to take on this role for the next 2 years and be your boss. To the fall 2022 cohort, y'all got this. We cannot wait to see the great things that you all will accomplish this year. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Andrew. We are so proud of you. This is, you're so deserving, and this is the thing that we know that you would excel at. So happy for you to get started. With that, I'm going to pass it to Ruben to close us out.
Awesome. I lied when I said this is the last tradition. Oh. This really is the last tradition, our Sin Forth. It is another West African tradition when someone is getting ready to leave home or embark on a new journey, that we don't say that we'll send you off, we'll send you forth, knowing that you can always come back. And one of the ways that we do that is just by offering words of encouragement and love and support for the people here. So if you're a parent, if you're a former teacher, if you're a supporter of the Marcy Lab School, a mentor, we'd love to offer you the opportunity to simply come off of mute and shout out a fellow or this cohort as a whole and share some love with them before we close out.
And to that end, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can all see each other in this room that we're in, this virtual room that we're in.
I can start. I just want to shout out Kay, who worked so hard this year and continues to work so hard and amazes me with every meeting. Just want to let you know, as I've let you know many times, I'm super proud of you. And I look forward to seeing all the unbelievable things you're going to accomplish in the future.
Thank you, Helen.
I could go next. I just want to shout out Sean. Sean, you worked like so hard this year. Deserve all this, all the praise, everything that comes forward from you for you in your future and in your career. I'm super proud of you. And I know I always say this, but like my door is always open. Anything you need, you just reach out and I'll help if I can. And yeah, congrats.
Mike, I hear you speaking, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, because I bought a new microphone and I don't know how it works yet. Sorry. Andrew, I am so goddamn proud of you. You have had such a journey. Like, you're not kidding. You came to office hours all the time and you were like, oh, I want to get this. I want to get this so bad. And I was like, oh, I know this is hard, but get it. You're gonna fucking get it. And just watching you like slowly, learn to like breathe, take a second, slow down, and just solve the problem. It was like, oh hell yeah. And to all the people who came through for office hours, yeah, it's just been great. And I love getting to watch you guys grow and really being like, seeing how you are in the first month, like your very first month, you're like, what the hell is HTML? What is a div? And then in the end, you're like deploying servers, and it's like, oh my gosh, you guys, too much. But I'm so proud of all of you.
I can go next. I'd like to shout out Elijah and Damon, who I think I both have known since 9th grade. Elijah, I remember reconnecting an info session for this last year. Then I was really excited when I found out that you got into the program. This is amazing. And I even remember Damon in 9th grade, we went to this event at IBM, and I took a picture of him playing cornhole in this event, and I made a joke in the email about a key thing to getting in the tech sector is a swank office and goofing off, and now you've done it. So congrats, guys.
Greetings, everybody. I hope all is well. I just want to shout out Marcy Lab, shout out the graduates, shout out the emerging cohort. What you all are doing out here in the community is really amazing. And I'm really proud to be a part of the outer proximity. And I'm excited about all the future success and what everything holds for everybody. Shouts out to Ancy, Kay, Siobhan. Shouts out to my upcoming niece, Venice Brown. So I've been sharing Marcy Lab a lot within my circumference, and I'm so happy to see the success unfolding.
I'll go next. Kenya, we've known each other for over 2 years now, and I've seen you grow so much. And I know a lot of you, and I'm proud of all of you, but Kenya, I've known you the longest, and I've seen you grow the most, just because we talk every week, and as your friend and as someone who's worked with you like for hours and hours and hours, like, could not be prouder of how active you are in your own learning and how you stay true to your own passions for anything technology and engineering related. So congratulations.
Okay, I can go. I want to shout out to Mohammed. I'm super proud of you and how far you've come this last year. And your curiosity and your kindness is going to take you to really far places. And shout out to the rest of the Marcy Lab for making this all possible as well.
I'll go next. I want to shout out Jasani. Just been great watching how you've grown, and every time it seemed like we jumped on a call, you had made another kind of quantum leap. I felt like I was trying to just struggling to keep up with you. So it was great. I loved it. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and take Devonte's stuff to heart. People will take you so far. So reach out, use that network, talk to people, and yeah, keep on keeping on. It's been great. Loved every minute of it. And yeah, congrats to everybody else at Marcy for a wonderful year, wonderful experience.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being in community with us. Wish the best of luck to the Fall 22 Fellows. We're going to be starting 50 of them in 2 weeks, and we'll be right back here in March to celebrate the graduation of our Spring 22 Fellows. We love you all and see you soon.